Hello. I would come on and do a lunch clarity cafe and touch base and see how everybody's up to. So, lots of good stuff going on. But I wanted to hop on and chat about, hello. Hi guys, how's everybody doing today? I am talking about frustration. Anybody ever feel like they're just boiling or bubbling up and they're going to be like a pot that just over explodes or boils over and you kind of can't control it and you don't even know exactly why? We have been so busy doing such great things. We are super excited for all of these new adventures we got going on, all these new clients that we're working with. But sometimes when you're onboarding or you're working out processes and systems, you come up to the same bottlenecks, right? You keep coming up to the same problems, or you're being presented the opportunity to address something. And it's really your choice to ignore it or to really deal with it. And sometimes it's just not that simple, or it is that simple, but you have to dig deep to address it. And we are trying to be as efficient and effective with our internal teams as well as our external teams. And with growth comes a lot of uncomfortability sometimes. And we are noticing that uncomfortableness is tricky. It's hard for people. And naturally what happens is people start to get defensive. And then they shut down. And then once they shut down, then the communication kind of goes out the window. And then the next thing we know, nothing's really happening. So as the leader, it's my job to constantly keep everybody's communication and feeling supported and feeling seen. And this week has been really tricky for me. Both my kids have the flu. We had some personal stuff going on, and it's all great. Everything's moving in the right direction. There's always going to be unforeseen things that you just can't plan for. You didn't know that it was going to happen. And when that happens, it's actually a really good testament of how good are your systems, how good are your peoples, how good are your teams, it's all the planning you've done, everything you've created. When things get stressed or when there are unforeseen circumstances, that's the true test of how well everything is firing, right? All of the work that you put into systems and building comes into play in that moment. And this week has been one of those weeks. And I'm super excited to say our team has worked so well and everybody's doing what they're supposed to, but it also allows us to revisit and look at systems and look at repetitive things that we're doing over. So perfect example, today we noticed we had multiple things going to multiple emails. And I'm well, that's not very efficient because who's owning that? And, that opened up a door for us to look under the hood at something else and vice versa. So I just wanted to come on to kind of talk to you guys about what opportunities are you guys seeing, whether in your systems or if you're building a team or you're launching a new business or you're just working on yourself. Is there an area of friction? So, right, when things go haywire, when things kind of go not as planned, and circumstances present themselves, how good are your systems? How well do you work in those times? And I don't even want to say under pressure, because I don't know, life's always going to throw curveballs at you. It's inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. So the question is what are you going to do to rise up? What are you going to do? What are you going to take? What opportunity are you going to take from that circumstance so that you can be better? And also there's this other thing of just allowing yourself to feel all the feels. So this morning I was definitely super emotional and I got really frustrated and I could feel that frustration penting up inside. And I needed to let it out. And so I just said, I'm really frustrated, guys. I feel as though People are presenting a bunch of things to me that I think they could fix themselves. And I asked the question, I said, as a leader, am I failing? Like, am I micromanaging to a point where I feel like you guys have to bring everything to me? Because if that is what's happening, then I want to address that and I want to deal with it, because I don't want to micromanage. I want to trust my team. I want to build people up, and I want people to feel inspired and motivated to do their best and to not feel like they have to be questioned or answered, but also be able to hold themselves in a conversation that might be a little uncomfortable, right? Like, as the leader, I have the right to ask questions. It doesn't mean I'm questioning you. It might just be that I'm trying to grab, just get my thoughts in order, and I need to make sure that all of the projects are running efficiently. So I don't know, venting a little bit, but wanted to use it as an opportunity for you guys to ask yourselves, if any of this is resonating. Is there any areas in your teams or in your personal life or in your household that you think that maybe you're not as efficient as you'd like to be? And I'm just going to ask you, why do you think you haven't addressed it? There's usually lots of reasons why, because sometimes chaos feels safe. Sometimes the unknown or the known of the chaos is where some of us feel like, I know how to manage that. I've lived in that for a long time. And the idea of being too efficient or growing can get really uncomfortable. We're in this position where multiple people, like I manifested, put out in the universe, prayed, whatever you feel comfortable with, some really big healing things. And they're all happening. And ultimately, I started to feel like I was on a roller coaster. Like I felt like I couldn't handle it. And I realized that my control issues were coming up, and that I still, even though I know that control is an illusion, sometimes I will fall back into my old patterns. And I'll think that it's my job to control things, like as if I'm God, or like I actually have the plan, which I don't. It's all in the higher power's hands. It's just my job to be a servant and just to follow through and to trust the process. And also to check things and to guide and to navigate and speak kindly. And, see talent, grow talent, and create a place that people feel supported and seen. So let me know, any of that resonating? How is your team looking? And let's go. Talk to you soon. Bye guys.